Hey guys, what's up? It's your girl Monique, and welcome to Hidden.Survivor's YouTube channel. I wanted to talk to you guys about what it is like for me being a military wife, stay at home wife, no kids, and husband being on deployment during a pandemic. It's not easy, it's hard, it's frustrating, and it's stressful and scary. And I wanted to share with you guys just some of the ways that I have been getting through it because it's not easy, and especially being a new military spouse. There's no real there are handbooks, funny enough. There are actual handbooks and stuff that they give you about being a new spouse, and there's all this induction into the world of military life and being a military spouse and stuff like that. But there's no real handbook on how to get through it. And there's definitely no handbook on how to get through deployments during a pandemic. And it's been hard. So in the beginning, it wasn't too bad. Like, I was really worried about, oh my gosh, how am I going to do this? I'm going to fall apart. I'm going to be on my own. I'm in a new state. We had literally just moved the day before. Like, I've been out here for a year, but we moved from where we were to this new place where we are now. And then the next day for him, deployment started. So, new environment, new place, no family, still not too many friends. And with everything being shut down, even if I had a whole bunch of friends, it doesn't matter because you can't go anywhere, you can't do anything. And with me having a compromised immune system, I have to be very cautious, even when other people feel like they're immune or they're cured, or because they had the vaccine, they don't have to do this, that, and the other. I still have to protect myself, and I still have to do the social distancing. I still just keep away from people and make sure I'm wearing my mask when I do go out. And it in the beginning, because we had just moved, I was really busy dealing with moving stuff. The moving company, they damaged a lot of our stuff, a lot of our furniture, a lot of our big furniture and the expensive furniture and our new furniture. So I have been fighting with them, and I actually need to reach out to them because it's been quite some time since I have. But I need to reach out to them, and I've been dealing with that, settling into the place, and getting here and finding a lot of issues with the place that we didn't know was a thing before we moved in. So just trying to like document everything, take pictures of everything, because we had already signed a lease, so just me for my record. And when it is time for us to get out of here, and just so they're not trying to pull any crap like, oh well, look at this. It was like that already. So you know settling in, fighting with the moving company, dealing with still trying to deal with and find doctors out here and adjust and make that continuing to make the transition to living out here, because I was still seeing Boston doctors in 2020, because with everything going on, a lot of doctors weren't accepting new patients. Doctors weren't doing appointments, period. All my doctors in Boston, they were all doing virtual appointments. So I was still, being seen by my Boston doctors. So the first in the beginning of the deployment, I didn't have time to think about, oh my gosh, she's not here. Oh my gosh, I'm on my own. I just was like literally like going. So I was just preoccupied with things that I was doing. and it gave a really good distraction. It was a really efficient, efficient. Yeah, I think that's what I'm thinking of. It was a really good distraction, because I didn't have that time to be sad and freak out or anything like that. And then in, as time moved on and as things started to slow down for me, um, I had more opportunity to miss him and to be like, oh my gosh, like, this is intense and this is only the beginning. A lot of people, when their loved ones go on deployment, a lot of people like to set up like a countdown or a timer or like a calendar that counts down the days or counts up to the days, whatever. I oh, excuse me. I really didn't like that. I found that it really triggered my anxiety when I would see countdowns and when I would see how many days were left, when I would see where we are in this cycle versus how much more time we had to go, and even in relation to how far or how little, how not so far we got into the deployment. It was hard. It made it really challenging for me. So I didn't like to look at the calendar and think about that. I didn't like when people would, I still don't like when people ask me, oh, well, when is he coming home? Because it forces me to be like, oh, well, And now I really just don't even have an answer because things have changed for them. So there is no answer for that right now. So I really don't like to answer that question when people ask me that now. But I also ran into some new challenges. So like as things would pop up, I found that I was having a harder time dealing with issues, dealing with certain things. So for example, my computer decided it wanted to have a malfunction. So I had to fight with Microsoft. Like when I say I had to fight, it was a legit fight with these people. I was on the phone with them for over 24 hours across like 3 days. And long story short, big, massive, huge customer service issue later, I finally got in touch with, or Microsoft's higher ups got in touch with me and started to work with me to resolve the issue. But when I was in that beginning part of that issue and really like fighting with them and clashing and like being bounced back and forth through just going through that customer service mess, I really had a hard time dealing with that mentally. And it happened at a time where I kind of hit a wall in this during this deployment, and I got really emotional. I think that's when it first not that's not when it first hit me, but that was one of the hits. So the first time it hit me that, he's not here and all this was actually the day of the inauguration. And I think what triggered it was because I can tell you exactly when the tears started, when the breakdown happened. It was when Kamala Harris, Vice President Harris, when she was sworn in. And I was like, wow, man, this is amazing. Like the first female vice president. And just knowing it's inevitable, praying that it's inevitable, that soon it's going to be the first female president. And the fact that the first female vice president is a woman of color, man, it was amazing. It's amazing. And I got emotional and I started crying and I didn't know I was crying. Or at first, I originally thought, okay, I'm crying because of this. This is a really joyous occasion. This is history being made, and I'm watching it. This is amazing. This is something I'm going to be able to tell our kids about, and, be able to go play YouTube videos and show our kids this. Our kids are going to learn about this in history books. It's amazing. You know what I mean? And, but I kept crying. I'm just like, well, why am I still crying? And they were just, oh man, this is amazing. This was, oh my God. Oh, like I was bawling, breaking down, and I couldn't understand why. I'm like, what is going on? Why am I crying so hard? And why am I still crying? What am I crying about? I still, to this day, I can't tell you what I was crying about. I didn't know if they were happy tears, sad tears, mad. I was so confused. And, I finally realized that was my first wall. That was the first time I was hit with the fact that, like, damn, Johnny's not here, and this is only the beginning. And wow. So my second hit came when I was dealing with all this stuff with Microsoft, and I couldn't deal, y'all. I couldn't deal with what was happening, and mentally it really, I broke a little bit mentally. And just being transparent with you guys, because that's what this channel is about, the honesty, the transparency, and sharing my experience with you guys, and sharing my journey and my breakthrough and my breakdowns with you guys. And for whatever reason, during that situation, I went to a super dark place, and I can't even tell you the last time I had any thoughts of like, oh, the world would be a better place without me type stuff. I honestly can't tell you the last time I had those thoughts, but for whatever reason, during this situation, I was having those kinds of thoughts. And I couldn't understand it either, because I'm just like, it was such a weird space to be in, because I genuinely felt that way. But I also had the awareness to be like, why though? Why do you feel like this because of a computer? And it was a lot. And so, like, realizing, okay, this is another wave of me processing and dealing with Johnny's not here. More than that, though, I believe and I understand and I recognize now that it was some spiritual warfare. It was some spiritual warfare going on, and I realized that because literally the day before all the stuff with Microsoft happened, I had I had come to the conclusion, God had enlightened me and revealed to me that all the things that I've been through, all the different tragedies and crises and just the events of my life have rewired my brain. My brain now translates everything, every problem, no matter how big, no matter how small. My brain interprets and translates it all as a crisis. Everything is a crisis. I heard someone the other day say, I go from zero to apocalypse in half a second. And I'm just like, that's me. So I'm gonna start saying that, and it's funny, but it's true. My brain has, over the years, all these experiences have rewired my brain. And So anytime something happens, anything goes wrong, there's any problem, my brain is like, crisis, 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 and my body follows suit. So all the anxiety, the stress, the PTSD in a lot of cases gets, triggered and flared up. And it just, my body goes into crisis mode, and it's just a miserable state of being. And so I came to the conclusion, I have to, I don't know how, but I have to rewire my brain. I have to retrain my brain so that I'm responding to things appropriate. I need to find that balance, because I don't want to be so, it's chill, it's relaxed, that when something happens, now I'm like overwhelmed or don't know how to deal with it, or I'm just like, oh, that's nothing, and I don't want to be, oh my God, crisis, crisis, crisis. So I have to find something in the middle. And literally the next day, all this stuff with Microsoft popped off, and I, recognized, what that was. That was a test, and I failed. I failed miserably, but I thank God that, he gave me that clarity. He came in and was just like, this is what this is. You see it now, right? So now moving forward, you can apply this sooner. So I don't get to the point of, oh my gosh, the world will be a better place. Maybe I'll come to this realization once I start getting to that point where I'm just like, oh my God, when I get to that point, and it's like, oh wait. Let's bring that back. But that's gonna take time and practice. That's gonna take many more problems for me to be able to put that into practice. But apart from the stress and being busy or distracted in that way, I have also, during this time, I realized that this time is like the perfect time to work on me, perfect time for me to heal those parts of me that didn't get to heal before, unpack, process, and deal with a lot of things that I have not dealt with yet internally, as well as working on some goals. I have a goal to complete the Bible in 1 year, a devotional plan on one of my Bible apps, and I have not been working on that. But during a deployment, that's like the best time to work on personal goals, whether it's weight loss, learning a new language. I see you. Back up. Oh my gosh, I hate this place, y'all. I hate this place so bad. Anyway, learning a new language, weight loss, reading the Bible in 1 year, whether it's like a travel goal you have, or a financial goal, saving up X amount of money, or investing X amount of money, or paying down X amount of debt, or getting your credit score to a certain level, or repairing your credit, clearing up your credit report, whatever it may be. Like, this is a really good time to do it, because it's just me, myself, and I right now, and I don't have any major distractions going on right now. I'm not working. I don't have kids. Johnny's not home right now. So far I do feel like I've been wasting this time, because it's also been a great time, perfect opportunity to really work on Hidden.Survivor. And again, being transparent and honest, I have totally dropped that ball. I really have. I have been missing the opportunity. But, God has been convicting my spirit lately, and I've been feeling pretty moved, pretty inspired and motivated lately, which is amazing because I have been going through this period for a while, probably since that Microsoft situation, even though I realized what was going on and I didn't have those thoughts and feelings anymore. The depression and anxiety and just the that came with that, I had still been dealing with that, not feeling motivated to do anything, not wanting to do anything, and being like, feeling like I was, ooh, that scared me, feeling like I was being lazy, and then kind of realizing, you know what, it's not that I'm being lazy. I also recognize that, Monique, you have been through a lot of things. You've been through a lot, since, since like 2005, it's been one tragedy after the other, on top of the other, on top of the other, compounded by the other, which is exponentially multiplied by these others, and just all this stuff. I've been in fight mode. Because there's fight, flight, or fight, flight, or freeze response. That's the human body's, and that as humans, those are our natural responses: fight, flight, or freeze. And I have been in fight, 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 fight. Flight and freeze were never an option for me. So I have, for almost 2 decades now, been in fight mode. And I finally got to a space in my life where it's like, I've got stuff going on, but compared to what I've had in the past, this is actually a quiet time. And I should really enjoy this. You know what I mean? I shouldn't guilt trip myself for feeling, I shouldn't guilt trip myself for taking my time and figuring out where my interests are now, and just kind of reassessing, reflecting, and checking in with myself and being honest with myself, like where I'm at mentally and emotionally, so that I can know where I need to be going moving forward. And I've been doing, my brain has just been going, because I really have been kind of like guilt tripping myself, and because I haven't felt motivated to do anything. And I would be like, I want to do stuff, I want to do this, I want to do that, but I don't feel like doing this, I don't feel like doing that. And so I'm like, well, you know what that is, Monique? That's lazy. You're being lazy. You don't want to do anything. You're lazy. And, that made me, I was making myself feel worse. And I was feeling even less motivated and more depressed and more anxious and just not helping myself at all. And then like I said, I realized, you know what? Maybe it's not that I'm being lazy. Sure, there are some lazy moments in there. But overall, maybe it's not that I'm being lazy. Maybe this is just me. Excuse me. This is like the first time in my adult life where I've had the space, the time and the space to sit still. This is the first time in my adult life I've had a chance and an opportunity to be still, to be in a positive, relatively positive, in a clear mental space, and be still. First time in my adult life, so I didn't know what to do with it. And I was misattributing it to, and misdefining it as laziness, because it's just an empty space right now. And that's not a bad thing. That's a great thing. Compared with what I've been through, that is an amazing thing. God really has put me in a space to uh, just, oh my gosh, I don't I don't want to get emotional in this video, but just thinking about where I have been, the things that I've been through, and where I am now, it really is just wow. That's just, that journey is, it's, I don't even have a word for it, honestly. Um, but this first, these first few laps of this deployment have been hard. It's been a struggle. And during a pandemic where I'm not working and I don't have kids, so I'm not able to get out, explore, do things, make friends, visit the friends that I do have. I'm not able to go travel and see people, or just travel and have fun or whatever. I'm really limited in the things that I can do and the places I can go and who I can do these things with. So still trying to find a way to be, to get my needs met socially and spiritually and mentally and emotionally, as well as physically. I have not done any kind of exercise. I've been trying. I started doing some stuff at the house, but nothing consistent. I haven't been doing anything consistently. Johnny's doing some kind of workout challenge on the ship, so he's been preparing for that. So he's been sending me the weekly workouts, and I started doing them, because he was doing them there. So it was like I was doing them here, and supporting him that way, and being active. And I was doing it. I was doing it for a couple of weeks. Just not consistently, and I haven't done it in a couple of weeks, and I'm like, yep, I don't think I'm going to. I'm not at that level. I can't perform at that level. So I'm like, I've got to find something that's more my level. He told me about some places I can go. There's a place on base that I can go, and I think they have like free personal trainers. So he was like, why don't you go see if you can do that? And I'm just like, I don't know if I want to do that. I don't know how to use anything at a gym. I don't want to look stupid. I don't want to hurt myself, because of my limitations. I can't go as hard as other people can. And I don't want to go to the gym and have a personal trainer, and then, and then it's a military person. I don't need them yelling at me like a boot camp person, and I can't perform like I'm a sailor. I'm not that, no. Mm-mm. Mm-mm. No. So, I'm like, let me start with something small. Like, I'll start walking, and then God willing, that will evolve, and maybe I'll start running. I kind of have a fear of running because, like I don't even remember. High school is probably the last time I actually ran, because I have asthma, and it gets really bad. It's triggered by activity. So anytime I start getting really, the asthma kicks in. So, you go running. It's not like you're going to be running, you got your phone and you're listening to music. You got your house keys, your ID. You might have some water with you, and then you have your inhaler. I only got 2 hands. Where am I holding all this stuff at? I went out today trying to find like a little fanny pack, because that would be dope if I could get a little fanny pack and I could put all that stuff in there, and then I can go running and doing my thing and not have to worry about it. Nobody has them. Everybody's like sold out, and it just sucks. But I just have this fear of like looking stupid in the gym, looking stupid running. I don't want to get into a position where I'm like trying to work out and then I have an asthma attack, and yeah. So I'm like, I'll wait for you to come home, babe, and you can be my personal trainer. That way, if something happens to me, you know how to take care of me. You know where to take me to get help and all that stuff. So, um, yeah. But I have been trying to stay positive, playing PlayStation, binge watching, not really binge watching, but um binge watching videos on YouTube, watching Netflix, watching a bunch of documentaries, which I have to stay away from because for whatever reason I was gravitating towards the really heavy documentaries that would have me bawling and would like really mess up my psyche. So yeah. And then at church there's a women's group. I've gone to that. Um I haven't been to the last two, so because things were coming up, like literally on the days that they had it, um, stuff was happening. So I didn't go to the last two, but I do plan on going to the next one, God willing. And being more present, like checking in with people, calling people, hey, how you doing? You crossed my mind. I just wanted to call you, see how you're doing. Da 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 da. Trying to be more social in that way. And step out of my comfort zone in that way. Excuse me. And trying to find different ways creative ways, trying to find new creative ways to get in some self-care that aren't the typical, like, that aren't my typicals, which, because I haven't been doing any self-care, I don't even have any typicals anymore. So just like trying to rediscover and find like what really recharges my batteries, and a lot of, again, transparency and honesty. A lot of my time since I hit that second wall, a lot of my time during this deployment has been me fighting depression and anxiety and stuff like that. But like I said, I'm moving into this space now where I'm feeling more inspired, more motivated, and wanting to do things. Like actually doing things. And it's funny because it's so funny how things work. Because when we found out some news about this deployment, I actually got really, really depressed. And I was like, you know what? I'm going to give myself 2 weeks. 2 weeks, I'm going to be depressed. I'm not going to do anything. I'm not going to talk to anybody. I'm not going to go anywhere. Whatever. So whatever that means for me. Like, if I don't feel like going anywhere, if I don't feel like washing my butt, if I don't feel like doing this, if I don't feel like doing that, I'm not going to do it. And I'm not going to beat myself up about it. 2 weeks of that. 2 weeks. I'm going to give myself 2 weeks and that's it. After that 2 weeks, I have to move on. And so it's funny because since I said that, I've noticed that I've been actually getting things done off my to-do list. I've been going to bed earlier, like when I want to be going to bed, like not 2 and 3 in the morning. I've been going to bed at like 10, 11. You know, I've been doing healthier things, and it's so funny because I'm like, oh, I said 2 weeks. I can be depressed for 2 weeks. I'm gonna give myself those 2 weeks to be depressed, and I don't know how or why. I don't know what that's about, but maybe I psyched myself out. Maybe it's God. I don't know. All the above. I don't know. But I'm happy and I'm grateful for it. But this video is long, so I am going to wrap it up here. I'm trying to think if I want to post this video like this, or if I'm going to break it up into like multiple parts. I don't know. I gotta think about this. I gotta watch it back and see if I'm even making sense, if I even stayed on topic, which I don't think that I did. But I'm going to go. I will talk to you guys later. Please give the video a thumbs up, and hi baby. Yeah, give the video a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel if you haven't. If you're new, welcome to the Hidden.Survivor family, and if you're not new, welcome back. I love you all. I appreciate you all. Thank you all for watching the video. Thank you all for supporting the channel, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye. Angel, say bye. Bye.